Fermat's theorem. So here, reminder when a power, this is a formula which you can use, and the previous case also we have done using this one. The one like when you have in this form 2 power 4 by 5. Let me tell that what it is. So when you have it in that form, then it's going to be yeah, you can use a Fermat theorem to get the remainder easily. So here it says that a to the power p minus 1 when it is divided by p, where p is a prime number, and a and p are not having anything in common, or we can say they are co-prime to each other. A and B should be co-prime to each other, and P should be a prime number. In that case, this is the thing which I have to consider. A power P, let me write separately here. That is, you have A power, you have so this is given in this form, A power P minus 1. When you divide this by P, the remainder is always going to be 1. That's it. So this is a format which you had in the previous case. You can see here 2 to the power 4, which is nothing but by P. P is nothing but 5, so P minus 1 is 4. In that case, it's going to be 1. So anywhere, whatever be the number you take, if you have, of course, you have to have these two as co-prime to each other. 2 and 5 should be co-prime, 3 and 5 are co-prime, 2 and 7 are co-prime, 5 and 7 are co-prime. So when you have this, in that case, you can apply this formula. And that is a proof. You can see all these things. And even this one, 5 power 6 by 7. To get it easily, what you have to do is you better separate it in this form and then take separately 125 by 7 what the remainder is, and then find out the answer. And again, you have different methods here, and I think this is easy way. And the other method which I was saying, you can also try for that, like 5 power 6 by 5. The easy, and it's like it's a common for all the numbers. This method you can use it for any value, anything. Like not necessary that it should be used in a few places, whereas remaining all like Fermat's theorem, it has some limitations. You cannot use it for all the numbers. Whereas this method, which I'm going to say now, let me see for this. This can be used for any number. So we are going to see the remainder there of this one. So first thing is in the cycle, you can take 5 power 1 by 7. The remainder is going to be 5. And then go for 5 power 2 by 7. 25 by 7, remainder is going to be 4. Then you're going to go for 5 power 3 by 7. When you have to see for this 5 power 3 by 7, take only the last remainder into the base. The base is nothing but 5. So 5 into 4 is 20. 20 by 7, remainder is going to be 6. Or you can also say minus 1, both are same. Then go for the next one is 5 power 4 by 7. 5 power 4 by 7, again you're going to take the 6 into 5 is 30. That base you're going to multiply again. 6 into 5 is 30. 30 by 7 is 2. 5 power 5 by 7. Then you will have 2 into 5 is 10. 10 by 7, 3. It's still not repeating. We have to again check for other numbers also. Like 5 power 6 by 7. And here you're going to have 3 into 5 is 15. Yeah, 15 means you're getting 1. So it is repeating. Sorry. You are getting this as 1. And it's going to repeat after so many cycles. That is a cycle of 6. The 6 here indicates it's a cycle of 6. So what you can do here is, whatever the power is there, you're going to divide this by the cycle. Cycle also 6, and you have the power also as 6. What is the remainder? It's 0. Normally, I keep telling this again and again. I have to tell this, like the remainder part you have to see. The remainder is 1. The remainder part alone, you just see. If the remainder is 1, it's going to be 5 is the answer. If the remainder is 2, it's going to be 4. Remainder 3, then it's going to be 6. Remainder 4 is going to be 2. Remainder 5 is going to be 3. and the remainder 0 is always going to be last in the pattern, that is nothing but 1. So the answer is 1. We are getting direct answer, of course. For this long method is not required, but this is a method which you can apply for any number. Just wanted to show that. Okay. So next you are going to see is the Fermat's theorem. Fermat's little theorem. So here this is what, like we are taking this as remainder of a to the power p minus 1 by p is equal to 1, where a and p are co-prime to each other, p is a prime number. That's it. So now using this also, sometime you can solve the problem easily. So this is one of the problem which you're going to see here. That is, you have 7 power 71 by 11. So the other method which I said also you can apply, that's going to be a little lengthy, like you have to put 7 power 1 by 11, 7 power 2 by 11, 7 power 3 by 11 and see when it is repeating. So that is one way of doing it. The other way of doing is, we'll go for the Fermat's little theorem. So in that case, split this, because you have 11 here, you know that the top should be p minus 1. So if it is 11, then this should be 10. So we are going to try to split this number in terms of power of 10. So when you write it in this form, you know that 7 power 71 can be written as 10 into 10 into, 10 plus 10 plus 10. All these powers will be added. So it's going to be 7 times, which is going to be 70 into 7. Why into 7? Because we need 71. So 10 of them we have taken here. So there's one more we are taking here by 11. So you know that for this particular number, 7 power 10 by 11, the remainder is nothing but 1. As per the latest Fermat's theorem, the remainder is going to be 1. Okay. And now you're going to have 1 for all this. This is going to be 1, 1 and so on, except the last one, because it is not in that form. So all this will be converted as 1 into 1 into 1. We'll have this. And the final one will be 7 by 11. And 7 by 11 is going to be 7. That's it.